So today I want to talk about some maybe lesser known or certainly unspoken about things that might signal that this person has narcissistic traits or is a narcissist. You all know the main ones, you all know their main behaviors and the grandiosity and the lack of empathy. But I want to talk about the things that we've seen through therapy and with our clients that maybe don't get spoken about as much, but are really, really important for you to know. So the first one is that they can seem really self-aware, and actually it's just about protecting their image. They can mimic insight, they can mimic empathy, they can pretend to be whatever they think that you need them to be or whatever the situation requires them to be in order to get their needs met. So they might confess to having certain flaws or to making a mistake and say, I can be honest as well. I can share this with you. I can be vulnerable. So they might say something like, I just care too much, or I'm too trusting. This is all carefully curated to make them look like they're being honest and vulnerable. But actually, it's all designed to make them look good and to draw you in. So it is that fake insight, that fake self awareness that you might be attracted to, thinking, oh, this person has really done some work on themselves. They understand themselves. Maybe they've been to therapy. They can't possibly have narcissists because I know narcissists don't go to therapy. But actually, you'll find that there's very little depth to that self-awareness. It's almost like just a generic statement that has been said. But if you ask them anything deeper than that, they can't give you any answers. So they weaponize it to disarm you. They weaponize it to regain control over you. And this is all part of that pulling you in and disguising the truth of who they are under something that they think is what you want. So if you've presented yourself as being someone who is self-aware, who likes getting to know themselves and understanding and psychology, that kind of thing, some of them might even be psychologists or in that field themselves, then that will be attractive to you. And they know that. And so they will play that game with you. But actually, like I say, dig a little deeper. It's not real. Number two is they can use healing language to bypass accountability. And again, this is their attempt to be attractive to you, to show I've got it all figured out. I've been doing this work. And they can be really good at pretending that they understand, that they've been to therapy. They might Google some stuff and they've got the language. So they might say things like, you're projecting onto me, or you're reaching my boundaries. They're using all of these words, but they don't have any idea what actually any of it means. They're using it out of context, like a child would use a word that they don't understand completely wrong. That's how they use it. And so the part of you is like, hang on a minute, that doesn't quite sound right. And yet they're using it to almost baffle you. They want to say all of these things to confuse you. And they will shut you down in conversations by using these phrases. So it's almost a stop sign, essentially. You're reaching my boundaries is essentially the same as them stonewalling you. They're just using therapy speak. So again, just watch out for these things. It's used not to connect with you or to understand themselves or understand the situation or heal anything. It's to confuse you, to silence you, and to maintain that power. The third one is that they can mirror your values, but then what they will do is they will subtly start to distort them. They can reflect the things that are important to you, your deepest values. For example, you might be really close with your family and talk about what a great relationship you have with your parents or your siblings. They might mirror that and say, oh, yes, I have this great relationship with my family. Family's number one to me. I'd do anything for my family because that's what you're saying, and then mirroring it to you. But then what they'll slowly start to do is twist some of these beliefs. It might be about compassion, for example. So at the start, you might show that you're really compassionate towards animals. They might say the same thing. But then later on, they will find excuses for cruelty or justifications for cruelty towards animals, or start speaking negatively about that area. So it might not be animals, it might be children, might be people in general, might be a war situation. And so you start to see that actually this generic statement about them sharing your values, there's no depth to it, that it doesn't really exist. And it's just a front to, again, try and lure you in. And they can try and twist your beliefs in this as well. So again, if we look at families, they might take this, oh, I'm really close to my sister, and they might twist that to, it's weird how close you are to your sister. Have you thought maybe you're enmeshed with your sister or that kind of thing? So suddenly they're undermining these things that they said they shared with you, showing the lack of understanding of what they were saying, but also that desire to isolate you, to undermine your beliefs, to undermine what you value in life, so they can gradually start implementing the things that they think are important and the values that they have. Not that they have many values except themselves. What it looks like is alignment, but what it actually is a weapon that they're using just to keep you silent later and to gain control of you and to twist your sense of self as well as your sense of reality. So number 4 is that they over clarify small things, but are completely vague on anything important or big. So they might, for example, give you a minute by minute account of what they did when they went to the shop, which, by the way, for me, that's a sign of them hiding something. But they might give you detailed account of that. But if you ask them something big, if you suspect them from hiding something from you, if you try and ask them about that, oh, it's totally vague. What do you think about just going on holiday? Oh, yeah, yeah, we'll look at it sometime. They are not interested in giving you anything that you could say, hang your hat on. It's all that future faking. And so the little details, like you say, for me, are usually a sign of them lying. And when you try on any of the bigger stuff to nail them down, they refuse to do that. It's like trying to nail jelly into a wall. They just refuse because they feel like it's control. It's not, it's just part of being in a relationship, whether that be a parental relationship, a colleague relationship, or a romantic relationship. Having those bigger conversations is what builds trust, is what builds the relationship. But again, that depth, they're just incapable of going there. They want to keep things very low level so that you don't really get to know them. You can't be intimate with them properly because they don't share anything, but yet they can present, oh no, I shadowed with you. I told you all about that, which is, it's not even important, but yeah, they probably did share all of that with you. In the big scheme of building closeness, building trust, building intimacy, it's nowhere near to helping with any of that. In fact, it is used as a smoke screen. Don't look at that. I don't want to talk about that, but I'll tell you everything about this thing. It's designed to lead the conversation the way they want to go, but also protect them from having to talk about things that maybe make them uncomfortable. So remember, this is precision where it doesn't matter and evasion where it does. And number 5, the final one, is their niceness feels hollow or oddly performative. So they might be really generous when there's a crowd of people. When they've got an audience, they might give you a big hug or buy you something nice and make sure that there's other people that will see that they bought you flowers. They won't bring them home unless they're trying to hide something. But in public, they might do a big grand gesture. But in private, they don't do any of those things. And if they do, then it's transactional. They're doing something nice because they want something from you. There's no depth to the kindness. It is all part of them trying to control you, trying to control how people see them, trying to look a certain way, but without any of the capacity to actually be the person that they are trying to be. And this is all about that conditioning to make you believe that they're something that they're not. Because on the face of it, you can go, well, yeah, they are kind, they do this for me, or yeah, they are able to talk in depth about this. So it looks like you could tick certain boxes, but actually, if you spend time and ask the right questions, what you start to find is they're not able to go any deeper with you. It's all very superficial. If you're still unsure about whether the person in your life is a narcissist, I invite you to take our free quiz, which is, are they a narcissist? It will ask you questions based on your experience of them, because that's what we're concerned with. We don't really care about them and what they're doing. What we care about is how is it impacting you. So that is available on the website, and I will leave a link in the description below. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.